Spotlight on those who served. Brought to you by Gray Bar.
News 4 is partnering with Gray Bar to shine the spotlight on the stories of veterans in our community.
Tonight, Steve Savard shows us how one man kept on serving his country despite being wounded in combat.
Purple Heart recipient Dan Love was manning the big gun on a supply transport boat in the so-called Brownwater Navy in early 1968 during the North Vietnamese's Tet Offensive. Dangerous times to be slowly navigating the rivers of Vietnam to carry loads of ammunition, lumber, even soldiers, anything that needed transport. On February 28, his boat came under attack on the Cuviet River. 2 of his crewmates were killed and several others were injured, some critically. Dan says he was lucky to escape with shrapnel wounds to his face and neck.
It killed Gary, which was the other gunner, killed him outright, and there was a young guy on the boat that I didn't even have a picture of him or anything. You know, the poor kid was, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks on the boat. He died. And then there was several that were critical. And myself and both of my loaders, we were all wounded. We were able to get up and start returning fire. But, you know, it's just these other guys, they didn't have a chance.
After having his wounds treated, Dan could have opted for different duty, away from the boats that were inviting targets for the North Vietnamese. But he chose to return to his job as quickly as he could.
I think at the time I felt like I'd disappoint the guys that got killed. You know, I just had to stay there to finish what I had to do, you know, and just, I would have felt bad about myself if I would have taken the easy way out, I guess.
Dan comes by his commitment to duty honestly. His grandfather served in the Navy in World War I, his father in the Army in World War II, becoming a German prisoner of war after capture in the Battle of the Bulge.
It influenced me a lot. You know, I always thought that, you know, you should serve. Just, you know, that was my background.
It's been more than 50 years since Dan left Vietnam, but he gets periodic reminders of his year in combat.
These things never leave you. I still wake up sometimes in a cold sweat, you know, and certain smells. If it's boiling hot outside and I catch diesel fumes, sometimes it puts me right back in the country.
Takes you back?
Yeah.
Dan has visited the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Washington, locating the names of his 2 crewmates killed that day in 1968, wondering what may have become of them had the attack hit his side of the boat instead of theirs. And he admits he struggled with PTSD after returning home, years before learning of the formal diagnosis and thinking he might be alone in his struggles.
Fortunately, you know, for me, my wife was a support that I never got anywhere else. You know, as nutty as I got and as bad as things got, she was the one that wanted to help me.
Oh, that's great.
Which is really, you know, that probably saved my life.
Dan's wife, Judy, tells me that everyone should know that PTSD doesn't just affect the veteran. She says it affects the spouse and the entire family as well. I'm happy to report that Dan and Judy celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary earlier this year. They have 5 kids and 17 grandkids. It was Dan and Judy's daughter, Dawn, who contacted me about telling her father's story. I'm glad she did. It was an honor. If you know a veteran with a service story to tell, contact us at KMOV.com/spotlight. Steve Savard, News 4.